Millionaire by Chris Stapleton is capoed on the 3rd fret and is an otherwise standard tuning for your acoustic guitar part. And it's going to start with a pickup note or a lead-in note to the actual one of the measure. And the way that you execute it, it's this sound. The way that you execute that is you're going to pluck the open 4th string. You're going to hammer on with your first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret. And then you're going to pluck the open 3rd string behind it. And you get. Immediately after that, you fall into a G chord. And then it comes up into a C chord. The way that you move into the C, instead of going to a standard C, you just move your 1st and 2nd fingers out of your G position, move them down one set of strings. So you've got, instead of your G chord, your 2nd finger now goes to the 5th string 3rd fret, your 1st finger now goes to the 4th string 2nd fret, and that's your C. C, G, D, C. So let me explain a little bit about how it goes into this D. Whenever it goes into the D, he doesn't actually just switch to the D immediately. He actually strikes the D without the 1st finger down on it, and then hammers down into the D with the 1st finger. So whenever you're moving out of the G into the D, you're going to strike the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string with the only thing fretting them being your ring finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret. And pretty quickly after that, though, you don't want for that to linger too long. You hammer down your 1st finger onto the 3rd string 2nd fret, and then you strike that again and hammer down with your pinky finger onto the 3rd string 4th fret, and then pick up your pinky and play what you've got fretted with your pointer finger, just a standard D, and then pick up your 1st finger, opening up again the open 3rd string, and then fall into the C chord, and then pick up your 1st finger to open the 4th string. So let me play this one more time real slow. And that is the verse progression, or actually that may be the chorus progression, but that is the opening progression that you hear, and then the band comes in with lyrics. Whenever it gets to the pre-chorus, it moves to a C, to a G, D, to a G, C. So in between, in this pre-chorus, in between the C's and the G's, the D is really acting like another pickup note moving into the C, to where it doesn't get a full count. It's just coming on the back end of the G's measure. Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's coming on the 4 of the G's measure, and that's your pre-chorus. Now the last time through the pre-chorus, it doesn't go back to the D. It actually, after the G, it comes back up into the C, and then it goes G, then D, and then into the chorus. Another thing to explain here about the strumming pattern is that you're going to strum the 1, but then pretty much immediately on the 2, mute your string with your palm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then you're really strumming it again on like the and of 2. But you've got a strum, mute, strum, strum, mute, strum, and that's happening pretty much across all of the chord structure. So keep that in mind for your strumming pattern as well. One last thing I do need to remember to point out before I move into talking about electric stuff is that occasionally after a round of the G, C's, and D's, you'll hear a kind of choppy where it comes back into the C, like. And then it goes into the pre-chorus, that part. The way that you execute that choppy part is that after the C, you will lower the 5th string 3rd fret to the 5th string 2nd fret. You'll strum up on that. You don't want to hit the open 6th string because we don't want an E minor sound. We don't want that sound. So I've kind of muted it with my thumb so that if my pick does hit it, it's just dead. And you'll pick up across the 2nd string through your 5th string and then come back down into your C shape again. So it does that like twice in the song, and you can listen to it and hear where that happens, but that's how you do it. It's the electric part for Millionaire is pretty much mimicking what you hear and see happening on the acoustic. One difference is that the electric is going to be in drop D, is what it sounds like for the on the album version, and you're still capoed on the 3rd fret here. So the opening chord where the electric comes in, you're making your G, or I'm making my G with my ring finger on the 6th string 5th fret relative to the capo, and then 1st finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret relative to the capo. And my guitar's kind of a lost tune a little bit, I hear, but we're going to stick with it. That's your G. The 2nd chord is a C, and I just moved to a standard C. Actually, I don't include the 3rd. I take that back. So don't put your 2nd finger down where you typically would in a C chord. You got your ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret and your 1st finger on the 2nd string 1st fret. And that's the C chord. So you've got G, C, G, and then you got the D with the low drop D, and then you play a C this way as well. You can see in the intro how I'm playing a C this way by putting your 2nd finger down on the 5th string 3rd fret and leaving your ring finger planted on the 2nd string 3rd fret. Also, a little bit about the tone on this electric part. There is reverb and I hear tremolo, so I've got that set on my amp as well. Alright, a couple of the specific picking parts that you're going to hear the guitar player do is you're going to hear him go. That is in a D chord. Where you hear him do that, and the way that you do it is you make a standard D shape and you'll pluck the 2nd string 3rd fret, you'll pluck the 3rd string 2nd fret, and then you'll hammer on with your pinky finger. I use my pinky finger to the 3rd string 4th fret. And you get. And then another thing that I hear happening, sometimes the electric guitar, whenever it goes to the G, it will pick out the notes of the G chord by going 6th string 5th fret, open 4th string, open 3rd string, open 5th string. And then it usually goes back into the D, and then C, and back to the G. And then you've got the And these chords, again, they're following the same chords as the acoustic, but it's just adding more dimension with the drop D, mimicking and mirroring what the standard chord movement is doing. The slide part for Millionaire is relatively easy as far as slide parts go, I feel like. I'm really not the best slide player, but I'm going to try to show you how I'm doing this here. I'm still capoed on the 3rd fret. I'm still in drop D tuning, but really neither of those things matter for how you're going to play this slide part. You're going to need a slide, and you're going to start on the 2nd string 15th fret. You want to put the slide directly over the fret. If you're a little bit lower or higher than the fret, your note will be sharp. Intonation is really difficult with slide. So you're going to start off on the 2nd string 15th fret. You want to pluck it, and then you're going to slide down off of the fret towards the 13th or towards the 14th fret. And then after you slide down, you'll kind of mute the string with one of your fingers and immediately move your thumb or some finger to pluck the 3rd string 15th fret with the slide. And you'll pull down out of that as well. So you've got hope you hear that okay. So you've got 15th fret, pluck the 15th, slide out of it, come back up into the 3rd string 15th fret, slowly slide out of it, and then you slide back up into the 2nd string 15th fret. And just so that you can see it with straight fingers, it's not going to sound the same, but what you've got is you've got it doesn't sound that way because you don't actually want to emphasize that much the atonalness of the half step below your 15th fret. You're not really wanting to emphasize too much that sound out of this chord. You're just slowly kind of hinting down at it and hinting back up out of it as you come back into your 15th fret. Once you get that under your fingers, and you come up to the 1st string, and you're going to be on the 1st string 13th fret, and you're going to place your slide right over the 13th fret and slide it up to the 15th fret. So you do that. Then once you slide up to the 15th fret, you actually come back down to the 13th fret. So you've got, after this, you pull up into the 2nd string 15th fret, and you slide down to the 2nd string 13th fret and slide up into the 3rd string 15th fret, and you get and then once you get that part, you come back up to the 2nd string 13th fret, and then slide up to the 2nd string 15th fret, and then 2nd string 15th fret again, and then pull down into the 3rd string 15th fret. So and that is the slide part for Millionaire.